Welcome to AmityCast. My name is Ellis.
And I'm Matthew.
And today we're going to be talking about episode 2 of Loki. We're also going to talk about Rick and Morty a little bit because the season 5 premiere is coming up soon. We're big Rick and Morty fans.
There's 5 Ricks.
There's 5 seasons, almost there.
Actually, 6.
What?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, spoiler warning for episode 2 of Loki.
Oh no.
But I really enjoyed it.
Next one of it.
What?
I'm kidding.
I don't think it was as good as the first episode, not quite, but I still was very impressed with it. I'm very excited for the rest. The next 4 episodes, the hype is just continuing to build because it's been keeping me intrigued, and I've been really impressed by that.
Yeah, it's been a really good development, really good world building, consistent character stuff. Each episode's been like pretty long too, so you get like a lot of like grasp on everything.
Right.
And consistent character interactions and constant cliffhangers.
Yeah, I enjoy cliffhangers, and there's been a lot so far, and it's just like, Tom Hiddleston has done an incredible job. He's portrayed a really wide range of emotion in the performance. He's done a great job with that. And his chemistry with Owen Wilson is incredible. Wow. But Owen Wilson has been incredible, and their chemistry is just, I adore it. It's fantastic.
It's been really well done, because like in the first episode, it was like he was almost like just giving him a therapy session the whole time.
Yeah.
And this one was much more of like a coworker type of vibe.
Right, like they're coworkers, but like Owen Wilson's like the superior who's like getting frustrated with him.
Total piece of shit.
Who did?
That's like the kind of attitude he had.
Oh, well, yeah.
And, like he was just kind of like talking about Loki behind his back and just being like, "Oh yeah, we'll just get rid of him if we don't need him. It's whatever."
Right.
And like constantly just being like, "I don't want to lose Loki. I don't want to lose Loki." It's like, oh, what?
Yeah, it's just it's definitely weird. I think it's been good development between the characters. I think they're doing a good job with that. I think the side characters have also been really good. I think they really add.
They haven't had like much development.
Right, but
like,
I think
they're like decent like.
Right.
Relief and whatnot.
I think they've done a good job there to like add to the overall narrative, elevate it a little bit. There was definitely, I think, a bit more comedy this time.
Yeah, Loki's been pretty comedic.
About the same.
Like the actual character's been pretty comedic.
Right, which I'm definitely fine with because it hasn't been like over the top to like offset like everything else they're trying to put forward.
It's definitely weird to think about. Like in this timeline, like Lily, like yesterday, he was just trying to take over.
Yeah, which is like, yeah, it's kind of funny. But I definitely think they did a good job with this episode.
We actually have a third co-host here today.
Well, yeah, there's Tommy here. He's just sitting there.
Madison,
staring at me right now.
You like Loki, Tommy?
I will say we are very tired, so that's kind of a warning. But
What?
You like Loki, Tommy? The show.
I mean, it's pretty low-key.
Anyway,
Ridge Wallet.
I will say probably my favorite moment was when Loki was looking at like the Ragnarok file about how it completely destroyed Asgard. It was really it was like in the first episode when he had to watch his mother's death and his father's death and his own death. Like his reaction acting has been his reaction acting has been incredible. He's done a great job with that.
Yeah, he's really just reacting to scenes he filmed.
Anyway, I have been impressed with that. I think it was a really cool concept how they were like looking at that, like how the variant could be, going to apocalypses because then
it
like
wouldn't be registered because like everything just gets destroyed anyway.
Right. If everything gets destroyed,
it is a little weird though. It seems like every single like timeline that they're going to, it's always on Earth.
Yeah,
it's just on Earth.
Everything's been on Earth, which is like, unless they're like they went to other ones that didn't show it, which like doesn't really make sense. I don't know. It doesn't really fit.
There might be a reason. There's still 4 episodes.
Right. Yeah. We're gonna have to see a whole at the end with the Enchantress when she got added in. Like it was like
it was very good build up because like in the first episode they didn't show it. There was just a bunch of shadows.
Right.
The second episode was like they were constantly showing that it was like taking control of other people.
Right.
And then they eventually showed it, and then Just kind of like it wasn't that much at all, and it's clearly just leading into the next one.
Right. I think it was great build up that for kind of more build up, but like they did a good job with the build up. I know that some people saw like in the credits of the first episode that they saw the casting for the variant was a female, so that like made the reveal like a little less impactful because like they like found out that stuff.
Yeah.
But either way, I think it was they did a good job with that. The character herself clearly showed that it will make a fun dynamic with like the Loki character.
I'm definitely interested in what like the actual motivation is.
Right, yeah, to see what the motivation of this is, what the end goal, and like see like more of that.
End game.
Also, they kind of left it on a cliffhanger, like where are they going? Like where did Loki follow? Like what's up with that?
And it did show some like purple planet where like they were both sitting down.
Right.
So that's probably what it is.
Yeah, which like I'm really interested to see. I mean, like I said, like
also we never see like what those bombs that you're setting up was gonna do.
Right. Yeah. Which I guess like something to do with like I don't know, something related to the TVA. I'm not sure exactly what it's supposed to be, but yeah. It's definitely like watching them like try to like prove that they're better than the other one, and like how
it's a very interesting dynamic because there's only been like any like superhero show or property that we've seen lately that like the villains are literally like just a different version of themselves.
Right.
So it's gonna be a very interesting dynamic, especially like how it's gonna end. Like, are they gonna have like a big fight, or like, is she actually the villain? It's just like I don't know.
Right. Like where are they actually
going to go? Apparently,
with
gonna have some really big like twists and turns in the later half. So.
Yeah, which kind of gets me excited because I really just I feel like I know what to expect, but like I'm actually going to have to try to expect the unexpected.
They're doing a lot of different stuff. Like there was that whole like weird like kind of animated character at the beginning that like Loki was actually like literally interacting with.
Right. Yeah.
Which is like something I didn't expect.
Yeah. That like kind of like threw me for a loop. I was like, what? I mean, that was cool. Yeah, but like, where did I
very
expect it?
comic-y.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like little great like lines and connections like something happens to Loki that like you know the variant does, and it's just like, oh, now I know how like Thor felt. And that's like it's a good reference.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, it's like now I know why Thor's always annoyed. Like that is pretty cool to see how they actually play off of each other.
Loki does kind of suck in like fights.
Yeah, Loki's terrible like in
Randy.
combat. He was like, I miss Randy. Like that was pretty funny, and it's like, I mean, I think it's really interesting to see like that type of development with that type of development with the Loki character. Like,
Randy was pretty cool.
Loki seeing a reflection of himself. Like, I think that was really interesting. It kind of like adds to his character as well.
I know something that Tommy loves to say is that how much he loves how like the mythology of like Loki as a character has really been well portrayed in the MCU. And like Loki's really been shown as a really powerful god,
Loki's,
and like
literally one of the most powerful gods in mythology, and the MCU makes him bad.
Well, he was definitely pretty good in like the first Thor, like a villain wise.
Yeah, I mean, they referenced in the first episode. He's like, man, for like a god of mischief, you really do lose a lot, and like it's like, well, yeah.
Yeah, we already talked about that last week. How like there was really good meta stuff where it's like they literally just call him out. It's like you're just a villain. You're just here to make everybody else
it's
reload
like
their guns better.
Right, it's like you're just here to bring the better out of other people, like as in the Avengers, and it's like they show that shot, and it's like Black Widow's just reloading her gun while the rest of them are like have super fantastical powers.
Oh, don't forget about Hawkeye aiming his bow.
Hawkeye's aiming his bow at what? I don't know.
He's getting a TV show.
But whatever that all is, it's having a lot of fun with the Loki character, and they're doing a good job with it. They're not oversaturating it. I don't think. I think they're doing pretty good with that.
Yeah, and the whole TVA stuff, it's like very interesting.
Yeah, I think like a crazy concept is how like first thing like where like at the end of that they set up like all those different branches and like how much fun they're gonna have with that, like all those crazy branches were going off. But also
really
like
set up, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man.
Right.
Pretty well.
But definitely talking about like the overall like, actual concept, I was like really thinking about it, like how like basically it's like all of the things that we've seen in the MCU were supposed to happen, and then this is backtracking and being like what if, like this branched reality where like that wasn't like able or whatever, and like it like takes away from that. I think that it's a crazier concept the more I think about it, like how it's everything is happening the way it should, but
it's definitely doing like I wanted them to do after Endgame, and that's just kind of like go wherever.
Right, it's showing that this show is definitely very foundationally important to like the Phase 4 MCU's Phase 4. So it's definitely looking to be very exciting. I like what they. I like everything that's been going on so far. I think the rest of the show is. I'm very excited for it.
Like, bored at all.
Right, yeah. I don't think there's even been a moment where I've been like, man, I kind of just like whatever. But like, because both episodes I think were very good. They were very entertaining. They got me very excited. They were adding to the universe and adding within the characters. It's an incredible foundation, and these last 4 episodes, I hope, is just like a wild ride, and then it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, the most interesting thing about me with the TVA is that, like, a lot of people have pointed out, it's like, they just kind of say that these timekeepers control time, but, like, in the end, like, how do we know that, like, they're actually, like, good enough to be doing that? And, like, how do they dictate what is, like, the proper timeline?
Right.
And, like, a lot of people are kind of hinting at that. Probably at the end of the show, like, the TVA will be, like, destroyed or something, and it'll just cause chaos. You know, like Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, yeah.
Like the literal title of the film. And then, yeah.
Which just gets me more hyped for that, especially since of how much I love the Doctor Strange character, plus Sam Raimi directing. Yes, so.
And, like, the guy that's going to be playing Kang, like, Lily asked him, are you going to show up on Loki? And he just said, what do you mean, what's Loki?
Yeah.
Like, what?
So, I mean, yeah. I think that they've done a great job with it all.
Pretty good cliffhanger.
Yeah, good job with the cliffhanger.
Owen Wilson's going to be sad.
Owen Wilson's character is probably one of my favorite characters so far. Mobius, I think, has been great.
Yeah, this show's really surprised me. Honestly, I didn't know how well it was going to...
Right.
And it's got the best views out of the 3 Marvel shows released so far, like,
that makes sense.
Views-wise.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, almost like 1 million households watched it, like, Wednesday night.
That's
the
crazy.
First episode.
That's crazy. Which, yeah, it's really exciting for me. It's definitely gone above my expectations for sure. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, it's made me like Loki a bit more just because I've had even more time to just go into his character instead.
Right,
of
I actually like the character a lot more in this than I ever have before, and like I was like okay with the character. I liked him, but like
I wasn't like a fanboy. Like everybody just wanted him back and everything.
And even like Tom Hiddleston, like so much respect for him for like how he's performing. It's just been incredible. Like
you can tell he's having a great time.
Yes, I think it's fantastic. I love watching it. Each episode all the way through, it was just like it's just pure enjoyment and like pure excitement. So I'm just really excited for the rest. I've loved it a lot more than I expected actually. So that's been great.
Definitely a bright spot through the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I right, Tommy? Dreary Loki is a pretty solid show, and it's something you look forward to each week.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's the end of Tommy time. I'm just kidding. We're gonna have shirts next week. Tommy takeover.
What?
If you don't buy it, you're not a fan. Unsub. I'm just kidding.
We should.
Ridge Wallet.
Yeah, we're sponsored by Ridge, by the way.
Okay, we should definitely not turn away the few fans that we have, if we have any.
Justin's gonna unsubscribe.
Life of Justin.
Yeah, you guys should follow that channel if you love expert gaming content.
Yeah.
Definitely watch Loki episode 2, especially if you watch the first episode.
Definitely highly recommend Loki episode 2. I think that if you enjoyed the first episode, it's definitely smart to stay tuned. I think like if you haven't like it's just a great show to watch if you love the Marvel characters. Like not even just if you love the MCU, just like I think it's been incredible so far.
This is like your first night.
Yeah, it'd be very like confusing if like you haven't seen anything in the MCU before. So like maybe try to get some groundwork, but it's extremely enjoyable show. I like it a lot so far. So
yeah. What's next?
Well, we can talk about Rick and Morty.
Isn't that the show where like the kid's like super smart and then like the grandfather is just like really dumb?
He turned himself into a pickle. Morty.
You still recording?
Yeah. I mean, Rick and Morty is one of my favorite shows, like overall. It's definitely one of my favorite like modern shows, like more recently.
Shut up. What is my purpose? To spread my butter.
To spread butter.
Oh.
But I've seen the first 2 seasons many times. I've only seen season 3 and 4, not as much as the first 2 seasons. But I do adore Rick and Morty. I think it's an incredible show.
What's your favorite season?
My favorite season? Probably either 3 or 4.
Feet.
I'm gonna have to go
Fair
with.
point.
I'm gonna have to go with probably season 4.
Oh, season 1 pilot.
The pilot's the worst episode. It's not bad, but it's not good compared to the rest of the show.
It's almost unwatchable.
Rick and Morty, I think it's continued to grow as a narrative, and I really enjoyed that. They do a good job expanding upon their concepts to like have fun with it, but also like create a good narrative.
Yeah, and season 4 didn't really have any like. There was like 1 or 2 episodes that were like kind of duds, but like overall, they either had really good like one-off episodes of really cool concepts. Besides the dragon one, that one sucked, and then
yeah, Godzilla King of Monsters is pretty good.
That movie's pretty good, yeah. Let's not gonna talk about that now, though. I can talk about that for hours. But they either had really good like one-off episode adventures, or they had really good like character building ones.
Right.
So,
I think
they really like jam-packed stuff in like 20 minutes.
And then they have episodes like the Vat of Acid episode, which is like an incredible singular episode. I don't know how much it actually does for the overall story of the show, but in itself is an incredible episode. Like
where things left off in season 4, I'm definitely interested in what's going to happen. Like, there's a whole Beth clone thing, which I don't think they're really going to do much with.
Right,
because it doesn't make sense for the Beth clone to still be around.
It seemed like at the end of season 3 they were going to do more with it, but
then they did it like the end of season 4.
Right, then they got to the end of season 4, and it's like, well, okay, what's actually going on?
I don't know, like, a lot of the stuff that's, like, confirmed to be in the show. I know there's going to be, like, Rick's going to have a random arch nemesis that he hates to, like, even mention that he has an arch nemesis.
Right.
Which is going to be pretty funny to see.
I mean, in the season 5 trailers, there's definitely been a lot of stuff that looks like it's going to be fun for the different episodes, and I think that they're going to do a good job, like, expanding upon the family dynamic.
Yeah, I'm very interested. Honestly, I'm kind of interested in, like, how Jerry's going to change, because it seems like...
Yeah.
So far, it's been, like, a little bit better.
Right. It looks like, I think that Jerry's actually had really good development. Like, I know, like, early on, he was probably, like, hated as a character, and it's, like, within the show, he's kind of like a punching bag. But, like, I've definitely, like, you can see Jerry grow throughout the seasons. I think they've done a good job with that. They've done a good job with every character because...
Yeah, Force does that to you.
I mean, Summer's kind of had, like, and development.
Summer is, like, the thing about Rick and Morty...
She's been very stagnant.
The thing about Rick and Morty is that at its core, at its essence, it's definitely a show about the family. Like, that's how important it is. If you take away any member of the family, then the show, foundationally, does not stand as well. Even Summer. Like, Summer is, like, an incredible, like, point for, like, transitioning to the other characters. Like, seeing her relationship with Rick or with Morty or her parents, it's important to the story. Very important. And same thing with Jerry. Same thing with Beth. All of it, like, it builds upon each other. And that's why I think they've done a great job, like, in the writing, is, like, adding on to that and keeping that to grow. And, like, keeping that narrative great. But also, like, trying to reflect that, like, with all of the fun sci-fi like concepts that they use. They do a good job balancing it, I think.
I like the pickle.
See, like, this pickle Rick. Like, Rick turns himself into a pickle.
I like how that's like objectively like one of the worst episodes of season 3.
I mean, it's a fun concept, but like, I mean,
show me what you got.
That episode, I think, is a good example because they have a fun sci-fi concept that Rick literally becomes a pickle. Like, that's crazy. But then at the end of it, it's like all this stuff about therapy, and like the therapist is like calling out Rick for like how he feels, and like the entire family's supposed to be doing it because the family's kind of like crumbling or whatever's going on with it, and it's like all these issues, and it's like we have those family issues mixed together with the fun sci-fi concepts and like the crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's the better episodes.
Right. Yeah.
Like, there's that one episode like where like Rick like sends Jerry and Beth to like a therapy thing, and it becomes a whole thing with like cloning each other, and it's just like a really good episode because it's really just about like relationship problems, and they literally say like you guys should literally just not be together.
Right. It's all ends up being like socially relevant commentary.
You're socially relevant.
About whether just like one-to-one relationships or an entire family.
Your family.
Shut up. They do a good job with that.
You're a good job.
I think it's been incredibly written.
Okay.
I think every character has gotten a substantial amount of like actual. Like,
Rick's been very interesting because the family dynamic with him has been like all over the place, and it's really unclear at the end of season 4.
Right. It's really crazy with Rick because you start to like slowly unpack like the mental illness that he actually has.
Being smart.
Like he is a super genius, he's the smartest man in the universe, but like how that actually reflects on him and how it damages him, and at the same time how it affects the people around him, and then how that reflects back and affects him. It's been a really interesting dynamic. And then Morty, you see him.
Morty's had a lot of development.
Morty, you see him grow throughout the show. Like in the first season, he was just like some like stupid kid that was like kind of a pushover, but you see him like the like issues with his grandfather, like how like it affects him negatively, but then like through that he actually tries to like aspire himself into positive change. It doesn't always work, and like he has like issues with anger and different things like that, but at the same time it like helps him grow as a person. Then you have like Jerry and Beth and like how their relationship evolves throughout the show.
Yeah, they kind of ended the divorce thing pretty soon. They just kind of got together at the end of the season, the same season where they got divorced. But it's just like,
right. But it's like you see the issues in their marriage.
But like they even point that out. They're just like, oh, back to season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, the fourth wall breaks are always, they're fun, but it's like, I'm not like a huge fan of fourth wall breaks because it's like, it's not like a show once you're acknowledging that it's a show. It's just kind of, it's whatever. Unless it's done well, which like, it's done to
if it's not done well, it's just lazy. So
yeah, it's done to a strong comedic effect in the show at least. But seeing Jerry like grow, but kind of always harken back to his original self is really interesting. Like how like people try to get him to grow.
He's the normal.
Right.
He's every man.
He's just he's just a traditional guy. And then there's Beth, who's like, Beth is like
very much like Rick.
Right, she's supposed to reflect Rick a lot and like what it's like the like father to child like dynamic. It does a really good job like displaying like how like we take after our parents and like how they affect us, and like your parents are like one of the most like positively or negatively the most like impactful people in your life because like that's from like foundational parts of your development. So
also, it's been very interesting because like every single opening credits, like every season, there's still some of the scenes that we just haven't seen in the show.
Right. Yeah.
It's like we're still waiting.
They're starting to show some, but it's like, is this like, are they just planning on like a ton of seasons? Are they actually planning on 100 years? They can't have 100 seasons. Like what?
After, I think it was season 4, they got like a 70 episode renewal.
70. That's 7 seasons because they do 10 per season.
Yeah, you didn't hear about that? So like, it was after season.
I remember that, but I haven't thought about it for a while.
It was after season 3, so like it's confirmed it's gonna be 10 seasons. They're already working on season 6, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely fine with that because I think the way that it's growing, they can continue to do that while also having fun with it. I really enjoy this show. I think every episode you can have fun, but also look into the story that's like being written and like the overall themes that they're trying to balance. And I think that they do a great job with that. It makes it a very fun experience. It's one of the best modern cartoons, like adult cartoons, that there is.
I turned myself into a pickle, Morty. Where's my Szechuan sauce?
Szechuan sauce.
Where's my Tommy? But yeah, it comes out Sunday, right?
Yep, season 5 premieres on Sunday.
I think it's 10 episodes again, right?
It is. Yeah, it's supposed to be 10 episodes. Which there's like you pointed out before we started recording a Hellraiser themed episode or inspired episode.
Yeah.
Which
I'm interested in. It's kind of a weird pick,
but it's a weird choice because the Hellraiser franchise is a mess. It's ridiculous. But like that'll be interesting. A lot of the stuff looks really fun, but I'm excited to see more character development. That's what I always get excited for before a new season. Like I said, seasons 3 and 4, I think they just keep getting better as the show goes on, and I think that they can continue that if they continue with this narrative.
Yeah, I've been a fan. I wasn't like there initially when it was a big thing, but I'm very much grown to like it, and I'm pretty interested in one season. I'm not like super hyped or anything, but I'll definitely be like trying to watch as close as I can. I hope it like comes out on streaming services too, like while it's coming out.
Right.
But I don't know if that is, because otherwise I definitely won't be able to catch it all. But
yeah.
As long as we both seen it, we'll definitely cover like however many episodes come out by each Wednesday. Yep. I think it's like every Sunday, right?
Yep.
So just like an episode a week.
Should be every Sunday. At least the first 5. I don't know if they're gonna do the same thing they did with season 4.
I don't know why they did that.
I don't know. I think they needed more time for like they needed to fix a couple things. I don't know, but whatever it is, I'm definitely excited.
Yeah, I hope they have more episodes like the Unity episode, and the Old Man in the Sea, like those Rick like moments that are just they stick with you really well.
They really got to continue to build on Rick and especially Morty.
And
it's named after Rick and Morty because that's the foundation.
I see what you're playing there. It's pickle. And like some of the best moments. What was I thinking? Well, one of the biggest ones for me was like season 2 finale was like so good, and then season 3 just kind of went back on it.
Right.
So I hope season 5 doesn't do that at the end of season 4. So like I'm also interested in what's gonna happen to Phoenix person.
Yeah. That's like what?
And like where this Clone Beth goes and where everything goes. I don't know where the show's gonna go.
There's a lot of developments they could go with. So
Yeah, but that's probably about it. Let's see everything else.
I mean, not really. I mean, I'm excited to see how they expand on the characters of Rick and Morty. I mean, they are the foundation of all of the aspects for a reason because like they're dynamic and like how individually how they are is like a huge part of it. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, but what are we doing next week? Or we're just doing Loki and then Rick and Morty?
Yeah, next week it's probably gonna be more of the same. We're gonna talk about
the next movie we're gonna cover, I think, is Fast 9, right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about F9 after that comes out. There's just not that many movies right now, and we want to talk about movies. At least I do.
Yeah.
But it's just there's not that much right now. So next week we'll talk more
Thank
about
God for Loki, then.
Loki and Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
So get out for that. Be sure to like and leave a comment. It'll help us out. And also be sure to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. That way you actually get notified when we upload. So.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got anything else?
Drink water.
Very good. Stay hydrated. Tommy, thoughts?
It's Timmy!
Timmy, take over. All right. Well, that's all we got. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Have a bad one, guys.